she went to do some easier shows. I mean, we talked about the fact that she's doing The View and she's doing Howard Stern, she's doing Colbert. But during the second day, when there was absolutely no response from the federal government to Hurricane Helene, she was very, very busy chatting it up with Alex Cooper of the Caller Daddy podcast. And Brian Stelter is here to give the CNN audience just a little framework for what that podcast is all about.
Viewers who are not familiar with Alex Cooper and Call Her Daddy, it's one of the most popular podcasts in the country. It's usually about sex and relationships, sometimes risque, even raunchy conversations about sex. But in this case, for Harris, it's about reproductive rights.
I can't even read the summary of this episode out loud. It is so raunchy.
Do you want me to read it? I'll read it.
I mean, I don't know if you can. Like, I don't know if you should, because like there are words in it that are you can't. I don't.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I probably can't. You're right.
But like, if you watch this, you'll see that this is the typical show. This is what these episodes are all about. This is the show that Kamala chose to be on. And a lot of people are giving Alex Cooper huge grief about having her on and making her show political. Because of course, the audience that she does have, this is not why they listen. It is certainly not to hear Kamala Harris. And so Alex Cooper did a little preview or intro or explanation rather of why she chose to have Kamala on the show. And here is a little bit of that explanation.
I am so aware I have a very mixed audience when it comes to politics. So please hear me when I say my goal today is not to change your political affiliation. What I'm hoping is that you're able to listen to a conversation that isn't too different than the ones that we're having here every week. I was given 40 minutes with the Vice President of the United States. No topic was off limits. I prepared 7 different versions of this interview. Do I talk about the economy? Do I talk about border control? Do I talk about fracking? But then I realized you can hear about all of those issues on whichever news site you prefer. And let's be real, I'm probably not the one to be having the fracking conversation. But the conversation I know I am qualified to have is the one surrounding women's bodies and how we are treated and valued in this country. I want to be so clear, since this isn't a one-sided conversation, we reached out to former President Donald Trump to come on the show. If he also wants to have a meaningful, in-depth conversation about women's rights in this country, then he is welcome on Call Her Daddy anytime. So, Daddy Gang, with all of that said, let's get into it. What?
I bet she's read all those books behind her. She seems really well read.
I honestly think he should do it.
Okay.
I mean, why not? At this point, why not? He'll talk to absolutely anybody. Let's have him do the same show.
Oh, I guess. Just, man, our society.
It's falling. It's falling.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they should all just do Hawk Tuah Girls too. Because she's up there in podcast. She's like #1 or something now, isn't she? Because that's basically a testament to that's our society. That's what's happening in our society now, you guys. It's so sad. This crap is what's popular. Our culture is rotting. It's rotting I'm sorry. I know it's a tangent. It's gross.
You guys, you can tell I've got my GoRed47.com/chicks lipstick on right now. It's this amazing product. We've been talking about it for a few weeks. It's the MAGA red. It's a very unusual, unique red, the number 47. And it comes in this beautiful gift box and it looks like this. This is a collector's item. And then the lipstick looks like this. It's getting used.
Yeah.
And it is amazing. I don't even, you know how normally you put lipstick on, you go zoot, like you put it on.
You zhuzh.
I don't need, you zhuzh it, right? You
zhuzh it.
I don't do that. I literally tap, 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 tap because it is so potent, this stuff. You barely need
it's
any
like a stain
of it at all.
It's very
It is like a stain. And it lasts all freaking day. I don't know how they did it. This is like some really high quality stuff that they put in here. And we've got a couple new pictures to show from some of our insiders who are showing off their beautiful looks with the MAGA 47.
Look.
That's Shelly. She got her MAGA red, and here's Cindy. And so it kind of looks different on everybody, which is really, really cool. But it is a beautiful shade of red. And I think that they have sorted out all of their website glitches. So if you were having trouble, you were probably taken care of personally if you emailed that you were having trouble. But now, if you want to get your hands on this before they're gone, you can visit gored47.com/chicks. If you want just one, you can use code CHICKS75 at checkout for a single one. Or if you put 2 in your cart, it's buy one, get one, and code CHICKS, you get that automatically applied. Okay. So you can either get 2 and you've got 1 to use every day and 1 to keep as your keepsake, or you can just get the 1, whichever you want to do. Both of those codes should be working, either Chicks or Chick75. Both should be working now at gored47.com/chicks. Don't forget, a portion of the proceeds go to Trump's campaign. So not only are you helping out the campaign, but you also are getting a collector's item and a beautiful shade of lipstick. gored47.com/. Kamala did do the show. It was already released yesterday, so you can hear it in its entirety if you want to, but we'll just show you a couple of highlights. One being the question, why did you choose to do this show? And this is also a big fat word salad.
Do you want to do Call Her Daddy today?
Well, I think you and your listeners have really got this thing right, which is one of the best ways to communicate with people is to be real. And to talk about the things that people really care about. I mean, what I love about what you do is that your voice in your show is really about your listeners. And I think especially now, this is a moment in the country and in life where people really want to know they're seen and heard and that they're part of a community,
right?
That they're not out there alone. And so I'm really glad to be with you.
Yeah, they're not out there alone, and it's like really part of a community while people are dying from a hurricane on day 2, lady.
Yep.
Livid about that.
I know.
How dare she say that? I cannot believe people on the left that are watching that and they think that it's a good thing that she did that and said those exact words. Shame on you, man. Shame on you.
It's just vile.
It
Absolutely
is vile. Yeah.
Alex also asked Kamala about whether there are any laws, and this came straight from the Kavanaugh hearings because this is a question that Kamala asked Brett Kavanaugh, whether or not there are similar laws or part of the Constitution which prevents men from having autonomy over their bodies. And so here they are giggling about that.
Pose this question more to you and the Daddy Gang, but one of the biggest conversations in this year's election revolves around a woman's body.
Oh my God. Yep.
I want to take a moment and can we try to think of any law that gives the government the power to make a decision
I know what you're going to ask.
about a man's body. Let's
no.
Yeah.
No.
It's obvious.
Is there any law?
No.
Oh my
God. No. Which is
the draft. How about the draft, lady? Or mandatory vaccinations in the military. How about that one? Yeah, that one. A lot of people lost their jobs over that one. And then the guy that you're running with made a little thing where you would tell on your neighbor if they weren't getting mandatory vaccine, if they weren't doing the things that the government told them to do. They didn't have autonomy. Remember that? I mean, it's like, I cannot believe she didn't say the draft. You're the vice president.
They never own that.
You're the vice freaking president. Wow. Okay.
But this is a woman who is so dumb that she doesn't even understand how her own policies work, because there was also the moment where she was talking about her love for small businesses. This is her new favorite thing, and how she understands you can't start a business with $5,000. So we're going to give $50,000, except that they're not giving $50,000. It's a tax credit. And she does not understand that that doesn't give you automatic capital to start a business. That is how dumb she is. And of course, Alex is never going to push back on that. Here is that moment.
Another thing that I'm really focused on is small businesses and startups, and giving startups a $50,000 tax deduction, because right now it's $5,000 and you can't start up any small business with $5,000.
Yeah, you can.
God.
I mean, she's never started anything. She's never built anything. She's never employed people, actual people in small business.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that Alex hasn't either, I mean, really, at the end of the day. So and if she didn't push back, she should have.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, it's like Kamala thinks that means that people who want to start a small business are going to be handed a $50,000 check. Mm-hmm. That's not how tax deductions or tax credits work.
Mm-hmm. Well,
my God.
You can't expect, they're there. You can't expect her to understand how any of that works.